Broadcasting from the Cass Corridor in Detroit, this is The Metro. I'm Tia Graham.
And I'm Robin Vincent. Today on the program, 4 in 5 Native women experience violence. We ask why and what Michigan is finally doing about it.
Plus, Adam Ollier wants another shot at Congress. What's different about his bid this time around?
Also, a cop shoots a man in the back and walks away from trial with no verdict. Now, demands for justice are growing louder.
And what is the climate for small businesses in Metro Detroit right now? Uncertainty is at least one word we're hearing. But first, youth is wasted on the young is something I would often hear growing up. And yet, from my perspective, these kids aren't wasting any time. They are taking matters into their own hands in so many areas of our society. That includes expanding arts and culture within the city of Detroit. And it also helps young people see themselves in spaces they wouldn't have seen themselves otherwise. The Detroit Public School Community District invites folks out to Fox Theater to showcase a year of art and performances from students. For the past 56 years, public school students in Detroit have hosted the community for an evening of performing arts. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, students performed virtually, and the show did not end there.
Ever since I've joined the band, it's become more fun and exciting to be on stage performing. I'm not just representing myself, I'm representing my people here and my family.
There's visual arts, there's dancing, there's painting, there's so many different things that makes me so proud of my artwork too, because I'm able to express my creativity and so are other people around me.
Tomorrow, the 56th annual Evening of Fine Arts will take place at the Fox Theater, and we do have 2 folks to join us in studio. Talk a little bit more about that event. William Perkins is a junior vocal music major at Detroit School of Arts, and Andrew McGuire is the deputy director of performing arts at Detroit Public Schools. I want to say thank you both for joining us here on the Metro.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Tia.
Of course. So, Andrew, 56 years of continuous performances. I remember when we talked briefly, you said that, and I thought to myself, you didn't stop even during the pandemic? You said, no, we did not stop. So talk to us a little bit about the history and importance of this event.
Yeah. So the Evening of Fine Arts, we're in our 56th year, uninterrupted. It stands on the foundation of raising the voices of our students. It was created as a space and a place to take our highest performing, our most refined groups onto a larger citywide and beyond stage. And we've continued that tradition. And so we've stood on that tradition. We've stood on that foundation that was set by our predecessors long before me, and continued that into what we have right now, which is over 700 students performing at the Fox Theater tomorrow evening. Doors open at 5.
I mean, over 700 students is amazing. I do want to ask you, we heard a little clip there of the students preparing and talking about getting ready for the event, but this year's event is happening at the Fox Theater. What can audiences expect from the performances? I know you guys have instrumental music ensembles, vocalists as well. So talk to us about what people can expect.
A lot. People can expect to see a lot. Our students are creating such incredible high-level performances, high-level visual art pieces that are on exhibition. So you can expect to see choirs, really refined choirs. You can expect to see bands, jazz bands, dance companies. You can expect to see orchestras. You can expect to see everything in fine and performing arts, art, music, theater, dance. And you have the gambit. We have high schoolers, the most refined high school ensembles and performance groups, and some middle school groups that are absolutely blowing it out of the water. The energy that happens on the stage, in the lobby area with the artwork, and with the pre-performance that happens in that lobby area is truly remarkable. So,
yeah, I think just once again, kids have so their brains aren't tainted so much by what's happening in the world, what's going on around them. They just create what's coming right from the soul, which is so amazing to see. Andrew, we are seeing a push to bring arts and culture to the forefront here in the city of Detroit. How has the renewed support surrounding the arts aided you all at DPSCD?
Yeah, excellent question. So 8 years ago now, our superintendent, Dr. Avidi, along with our board, made sure that we had a whole child commitment in every school. And so long gone are the days where you only have an arts teacher in 1 or 2 schools, right? So all 106 schools have either the fine or the performing arts, with most of our schools having 2 or more disciplines available to students. We have over 230 arts teachers district-wide in our 106 schools. You could do the math from there.
Yes.
And so every student is receiving an arts education. From there, pulling together our resources, our network, our listening to our students and the voices and what they are raising, and taking things to the next level. So returning the Evening of Fine Arts back to the Fox Theater, along with our partners, and making sure that we have a space and a place where we can truly elevate the students' voices, I don't want to say beyond or out of the community, but inclusive of the larger city community that we all cherish and love.
And staying on that note really quickly, Andrew, because oftentimes when we hear about the DPSCD students and we hear about the things that they're learning curriculum-wise, oftentimes we hear there are no arts in the schools anymore. But you're telling me there are arts all through the city of Detroit, throughout that the community district. So talk about that, if you can, just a little bit about the importance of letting the community know that the students are getting the arts and the humanities that we're often hearing are lacking.
Yeah. I'm going to repeat what I said. I'm sorry. We've had the arts in our schools for the last few years now, with every child receiving an arts education, and it is part of our whole child commitment to our students. William, who's sitting right next to me,
bringing
can
him
speak.
in, yeah.
Yep, can speak directly to it. I'd also be remiss if I didn't take a moment to call out the sponsors that are taking us to, bringing us to, and making sure that we are at home at the stage at the Fox Theater. And so we've worked with 313. 313 Presents, Olympia Development, Illich Sports and Entertainment, Comerica, and then obviously our City of Detroit Arts, Culture, and Entrepreneurship to make sure that we are fully well-rounded in representation there. So
yeah, Rochelle Riley has really did a whole 180 on the arts and culture scene here in the city of Detroit, or at least with her
Correct.
efforts and her team's efforts and the buy-in too from the community, because people have bought in to the arts and culture scene here, which is great to see. So William, bringing you into the conversation, a junior at Detroit School of Arts, a vocalist as well. How excited are you about performing at the Fox Theater in front of possibly hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people? You say even more. You say, Andrew's like even more.
For me, this will be my 3rd year performing in the Evening Fine Arts.
Yes.
I can't explain the feeling of performing on the Fox stage. Excuse me. It has been an extraordinary experience because it makes you feel like you're somebody, if that makes sense. Words can't explain it, really. It's like I'm kind of speechless, because when you have an opportunity of performing at such a great and historic venue, it kind of makes you feel like I said, it makes you feel like you're somebody. It's like you have a purpose in your music career.
Like you're part of history almost.
Yes.
I love that so much, William. And when we talk about this being your 3rd year, you've been performing since you were a freshman. So
No. Actually, I went to John R. King Academic and Performing Arts Academy. So actually, it's not my 3rd year, it's my 4th year.
Wow, you've been performing since you were in 8th grade.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a testament to your hard work and your dedication to your craft. Can you talk about how you prepare for this particular performance, especially now you're a junior, you kind of understand your voice a little more and yourself a little more?
Well, at Detroit School of Arts, we have so many extraordinary opportunities where you can kind of build upon your gift. And I said going to DSA was the best decision I've ever made artistically. It provides so many experience for you to expand upon your gift. You take vocal training, you partner with the Detroit Opera, you get private vocal lessons. You do so much, and it makes you want art, if that makes sense. It helps you expand your knowledge about what art is and who are you as an artist.
Yeah.
It helps you expand upon your vocal identity.
We're talking about the 56th annual Evening of Fine Arts taking place at the Fox Theater tomorrow evening. Our guests are William Perkins, a vocal music major at Detroit School of Arts, and Andrew McGuire, the Deputy Director of Performing Arts for the Detroit Public Schools Community District. Now, Andrew, bringing you back in really quickly, you are the Deputy Director of the Performing Arts Department there. What are some of the challenges and rewards with the job? Like you said, it's been a little under a decade having arts within the entire DPSCD community. Can you talk about just that building that you've been able to do?
Yeah. Starting off, I can't do it alone.
Yeah.
And I don't do it alone. I have incredible voices of students being raised up. We have incredible teachers. We have the best teachers in DPSCD. Especially in the fine and performing arts. So the challenge and the blessing of it all is that we have over 230 teachers that are so committed, that are so creative and so in tune with what's happening in their schools and in their communities, serving all of them and making sure that all of our students are receiving exactly what they need so their voices can be raised. So the Fox Theater is ready to receive the best in DPSCD, and that's also another challenge. We have 700 students performing, but we have well over thousands that have applied and auditioned to be in the show. And I would love to have, many hours, but unfortunately people have to go to bed at some point. So our challenges are real challenges with making sure that our students are represented in all of these spaces, but the challenge is so beautiful and it's so fun.
Yeah, I can only imagine just trying to whittle down thousands of submissions to just, a little under around 700, which is still a daunting task to think about. But William, bringing you back into the conversation once again, you're a student, a junior at Detroit School of Arts. Mm-hmm. What is it like attending DSA, especially being around like-minded individuals? How do you build and connect with your peers?
Well, I can speak from my personal experience, especially when I first got there. We're coming from a middle school where it's only one or two of your friends that want to actually pursue art, and then you go into a world or a ocean full of people that's just like you. You may feel like you can't fit in, but once you expand upon it and allow those people into your life, they nurture you and they nourish your gift, and it grows. Being at Detroit School of Arts has been the best decision I could have ever made for me, because being under the direction of Dr. Maya Elisa Reynolds, and knowing that she always has my backs, and Mrs. Burrell and Mrs. Gant and Mrs. Smith, they all the staff at DSA has been a blessing upon my life personally and individually, because I have my own individual relationships with them. Like I said, it has been the best decision I could have ever made. And I want to, if everybody in the world could attend Detroit School of Arts, they would. I would want them to, because you get an experience that you don't get anywhere else in that school, because there's so many people that's just like you and that are like-minded and who understands you artistically and as a person.
And William, just listening to you talk about that, your passion and your love for DSA, the staff, the teachers, your peers that you've been able to connect with now, you're going into your senior year. So once you end this year, you're going into senior year next year. Talk about how this evening, performing fine arts evening, talk about how that's prepared you for graduating and going on to the next step of life.
Oh, man, this event has prepared me so well, because just to know the fact that people has graced the Fox stage, people like Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, Patti LaBelle, who is my favorite.
I was going to ask you, who's your vocal go-to?
Yes, I'll say Gladys Knight, but my favorite of all time is Patti LaBelle. I don't have my shirt on today, but I would also always have my shirt on.
Don't let me kick my shoes off. Let's go.
But the Evening of Fine Arts has prepared me for what the real music career would look like. What would it feel like to really be performing in front of thousands of people, and what does it feel like to actually be a vocalist on a stage and people are paying money to see you perform?
Yes. I mean, just thinking about, once again, all those greats who've graced the Fox Theater's floors, all the greats. When you go and look into the dressing rooms, you'll see all the names written on the walls everywhere of all the people. Your name's up there, William?
Well, you're not supposed to sign your name, but I made sure I brought me a Sharpie so I could do it this time.
Oh, no.
So I just know that once I was going to say, once you see William Perkins, we're going to know that future is set in stone.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to. But I follow directions, so I'm not going to do it. But it's tempting.
And before I do let you both get out of here, I do want to ask you, Andrew, the Fox Theater, large venue. I heard you say a little bit earlier that this is a return to the Fox. Just talk a little bit about, once again, being in this large space and why it's so important for folks to come out tomorrow evening.
It's important because this is our community, and having 700 public school students from Detroit Public Schools Community District elevating not just in name, but in true master artistry, exhibiting what they have created, what they have worked on, and what they have done. That is far beyond. I was an educator for 10 years before moving into administration. This is by far one of my favorite concerts, if not the favorite concert that happens every year. And it's a true joy. So come out, see what's happening, get that idea, get that glimpse of what's happening in our public schools in the fine and performing arts. You'll be blown away. Totally amazed.
Andrew, every time I see any Detroit, anytime I see the students perform in any way where I'll see them maybe working with Rodney Whitaker and the jazz, I'll see them performing and I'm going, oh my gosh. Or you just see them in so many different spaces and places, and I think to myself, the future's all right when we talk about arts and culture in the city.
Yes.
So, William, this is the last question before I let you go. You're, once again, a junior, going to be a senior soon. What would you tell the younger kids, maybe in the 8th grade, 7th grade, or even 9th graders who want to follow your path?
I'd say don't give up on your gift. Like I said, for me, singing has always been more than just a hobby. It's a fundamental part of who I am. It's a vital expression of myself. From a young age, I always found joy in music. And then it's like I find refuge in music. It serves as a common ground for artists. Really, music has it's a very good expression, and it takes you away from the real problems of the world. When you hear music, your mood changes, your vibe changes, and I just would tell the kids, don't give up on yourself, because you may never know where your gift will take you, and just to as long as you take care of your gift will take care of you financially. It'll take care of you mentally, and just don't ever give up, regardless of what anybody tells you. I'm telling you, William Isaiah Perkins is telling you to continue on and make an example out of those who said you couldn't do it.
Drop the mic. Here, William Perkins is a vocal music major at Detroit School of Arts. Andrew McGuire is the Deputy Director of Performing Arts for the Detroit Public Schools Community District. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 14th, the 56th annual Evening of Fine Arts will take place at the Fox Theater. Their doors open up at
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. I want to say thank you to William and Andrew for joining us on the Metro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the WDET newsroom, advocates say a new congressional budget plan would cut Medicaid and force Michigan health providers to absorb the cost or reduce patient services. Organizations say the cuts will have a harder impact on areas already struggling with healthcare services. The Michigan League for Public Policy says the cuts would hit the Healthy Michigan program that expanded Medicaid coverage to thousands of people who didn't have insurance. State House Republicans want to amend Michigan's tax code that fetuses would count as dependents. Republican Representative Gina Johnson says her bill would help families, but critics say expanding other programs would be better. They believe that giving checks to mothers of newborns is a better use of time and money. Michigan could be the second state after Georgia to label fetuses as dependents. Coming up, American Indian women experience a really high rate of domestic violence. We'll hear about why and what the state of Michigan is doing to try to lower those cases. We'll be right back on the Metro. You all stay right there.